What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll go ahead and show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound. And the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. It is myself and ChatGPT as my AI co-host, and we dive into a wide range of topics in short-form videos just like these. So check it out. Links in the description below, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's talk about SPS and the amount of SPS that's out there. Now, I've been banging the drum about this for a while that, people had been talking about like, oh, we should do SPS halving and reduce emissions and all that. And, like, that's fine, but we just have too much out there in the ecosystem, and I think it's about to rear its ugly head in an area that people have been benefiting from for a long time, and that is SPS rentals. So if you look here, obviously the price of rentals and the value that people got, right, the APR and then the price of DEC per SPS has come down. It's already at rock bottom prices. But here's the scary part. If I sort this by date and I go to the farthest back date, this used to be like a year in the past and then months in the past. We had a massive backlog. And some time ago, maybe in a video or in a live stream, I talked about the fact that if I was renting out SPS and there was nothing available at, a higher price point, then I would just go to the oldest one. And I was trying to start clearing out the backlog. And I got several comments on the live or in videos afterwards of people saying, oh, how do you sort or how do you check which one is the oldest? I'm going to start doing that as well. So I think people have been doing that. And now the most, the furthest back that we go is 17 days, right? So maybe just a month, 2 months ago, I mean, this was all the way back. Like the backlog was a year or 9, 10, 11 months at that point. But we've since cleared that out. It's only going back 17 days. And the price is not any higher, right? So what am I getting at here? At some point, this is going to continue decreasing, right? The last time that I rented something out, which was 2 days ago, we were still at like 20-something days, I think, and now we're under that. So it's 17 days. There's a couple here for 16 days, 15 days. And then, obviously we're going to get to a point where there will be nothing left and people will be fighting for scraps. So in the same way that whenever something comes on for 0.002 DEC, for example, like a higher price, that gets eaten up right away. I think there's going to be a period of time where there will not be any bids here. There will be zero bids, and you will have to come in and just check every so often to see if something pops up. And if it's there, you just grab it and throw your extra SPS on. So, that's going to be an interesting situation. I mean, obviously a 3.5% APR isn't adding that much value, but at the end of the day, this did provide a reason for people to hold SPS in addition to, the other benefits that you get from it, especially if you wanted to hold extra. And, let's say you only need, for example, I only needed like 200,000 to play in modern gold and modern diamond. So that's why I started renting out a good amount of my SPS beyond that, since I wasn't focused on wild anymore. But if we get to a point where I just have to sit on it, well, I guess that's fine. But the marginal returns are not going to be that great, right? And I don't think that this is going to lead to like a mass dumping of SPS. I do believe we are in the window now, meaning that I think everybody's expecting the bull run to take place at some point within the next 12 months. And I know that there's people that are still bearish and people that, are unhappy with the game and they might be sellers, but I would say that a majority of people are not just dumping their SPS, and this wouldn't be a catalyst for people to start dumping SPS, especially with SPS still under a penny, right? If anything, what we've seen is that SPS now has become much more correlated with Bitcoin and the market. And if anything, the prices become much more sticky to the upside. So we don't go down as much. There's not as many people selling. We just kind of like follow and trend with the market. But before, I'd say before, really when the wild season pass or wild season permit came about, that was a major point, right? Because at that point, all of the SPS, all those bot farms that were just draining SPS, they sold out of it. They left the game. They're no longer active. And now we're not seeing that mass sell-off of SPS. Sure, there's still some people taking profit here and there, but for the most part, SPS has been on a decent rise. And sure, it's been trending with the marketplace. It's actually been somewhat correlated. But even when Bitcoin dips significantly, SPS actually holds quite well. I've been impressed, right? And as somebody who's been super critical of the SPS price action over the last however many years, right? We're still down 99%. I'll take the little win here. It is quite impressive. So I think we're in that window where people won't be mass dumping it, especially if we have a time frame of the bull run coming up within, the next couple of months here, hopefully. And then, of course, within Splinterlands ecosystem itself, you have all the innovation that the team has planned for next year, concluding with Conclave Arcana in April, right? That's the hard date for a brand new set. And we saw what happened when Rebellion came out. SPS did like a 3x. So at this point in time, I'm not too worried about the impact it'll have. It's just going to be annoying and frustrating, and another blatant sign that there's just too much SPS out there and that we need more players to come in and soak it up. Or, and this is where things could get interesting, if I want to do a little bit of a silver lining, is if SPS stays lower for this time period and we get to a point where we knock out the extra DEC, we get closer to the Conclave Arcana release or the Land 1.75 release, we may actually be able to burn a lot of SPS at lower prices. Now, that means that SPS just kind of stays around here, right? Because nobody's really buying it. There's not that extra benefit and whatever the case is, and there's just too much still being emitted and inflated on a daily basis. But if we end up burning a lot more of it at lower prices, that ends up being a net positive for the ecosystem as a whole in the long run. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Just wanted to share a little insight here with you that I've been tracking, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.